Hello everybody, Timothy Bailey here with Project Learn and our video for today. Today we are going to look at preparing for severe weather. Ohio sometimes doesn't have very much severe weather, but then other times we do. And the thing about severe weather is you can never really tell when it's going to be bad or when it's going to happen. But first, what does preparing and severe mean? And what is severe weather? Severe weather is like this picture, right? It could be lightning, it could be a tornado, right? Things like this, even floods are severe weather. So depending on where you live, you may or may not have these at different times. So what does preparing mean? What are we doing? Well, to prepare means to get ready for something. So we are going to talk about getting ready for this weather. And severe, if you look at this weather, you can probably guess, means very bad or serious. So we are getting ready for bad weather, serious weather. Okay? Things that might dramatically affect your life or what happens during your day. Let's go ahead and start. So one first group that you need is you need a 3-day supply of non-perishable food. What does a 3-day supply mean? Well, this means enough food to last 3 days. Okay? And that's for each person. So if you have a family of 5, you need enough food to last 3 days for 5 people. If it's just you, then you need just enough food for yourself. What is non-perishable? Right? We know non means not. Perishable means it can go bad. Right? For example, I have some bananas and some apples. If I let them sit here, they'll be okay for maybe a week or maybe even 2 weeks. But after 3 months or 4 months, they'll start to go bad. Other food like bread goes bad even faster. It perishes. To perish really is to die, right? To turn bad. So what you want are what we would call canned food, right? In your emergency kit for severe weather. Canned food can last a very, very long time, right? Before it goes bad. And also, water and things like that don't affect it because they can't get inside. You also need 1 gallon of water per day per person for 3 days. What does this mean? Well, a gallon is this here. You see it when you go to the grocery store. Typically, we buy now milk and water in a gallon jug, we might call it. Okay, so you need 1 gallon for each day. So I'm saying for 3 days for each person. So if it's just you in your house, you would need 3 gallons of water. If it's you and your husband or wife, you would need 6 gallons of water. So you can see 1 gallon for each person for each day. Excuse me. And you also need a manual can opener. Let's start with can opener. What does this do? Remember over here, I said this is canned food. This, the can opener, opens cans. Okay, opens these. Now some of them, it looks like this one here and this one here. You don't need a can opener. A lot of canned food nowadays, you just pull on this little thing here and you can open it. Manual means you have to do it by yourself. So if you have a nice fancy electric can opener at your house, you may not be able to use that during severe weather because the electricity may go out, which means there may not be electricity. What is this? This is medicine, right? So if you're taking any medicine, you will need a 3-day supply, enough to last 3 days, of your prescription medicine. This is the medicine that the doctor tells the pharmacist you need to take. Now you may also want a 3-day supply of other things that you don't need a prescription for, such as allergy medicine or something like that as well. What else should we have to prepare for severe weather? We need some personal care items. Personal means about you. Care here is to kind of take care, right? So these are items that you use to take care of yourself. Things like soap. Right? You're going to want some soap. You will want a toothbrush and toothpaste. And you probably already have these things, but you might want them in your severe weather kit as well, so you don't have to try to find them. Or if something happens to the place where you keep them, you still have them in your kit. What is this called? This is called a flashlight. So you're going to want a flashlight, and you're going to want a flashlight that uses batteries, right? So, two things here that you're going to want. You're going to want the flashlight, at least one, and you're going to want the batteries that go for the flashlight. So, there's basically 5 kinds of batteries. AAA, AA. This one's called a 9-volt battery. Often it says 9V, C, and D. These are the 5 basic types. And a battery like this, flashlight like this, might take C's or it might take one of these, right, typically. You're also going to want to do something with your important documents. And what are your important documents? Well, one would be your birth certificate. Right? This is the piece of paper that certifies, it's a certificate that you were born. Right? Now, this might be a certificate for you being born here in the United States, or your son or your daughter, or your birth certificate from the country where you were born. You're also going to want not your driver's license, but a copy of your driver's license. Your driver's license, right, should be in your wallet or purse that you usually take when you go driving. So you can have a copy. That is good. Now, if you are not yet a citizen of the United States, you will also want your green card or your permanent resident card, right? Again, right, this could be, this could be a copy or this could be the green card itself. If you carry around your green card, as some people do, then it'll be a copy. If you don't, then it might be the green card itself, okay? Now, the important papers, and there might be some other things as well, your important papers, remember I mentioned flood before? You don't want your important papers to get damaged, right? So what you need is a waterproof bag, right? Waterproof means that water cannot get inside. Now you might have something like this. You might also have something that's both waterproof and fireproof, right? That wouldn't be a bag probably. It would probably be some sort of a very hard case, right, to protect against fire and water. Now you might need some cash, some money, right? Perhaps not this much, right? I don't know that I would even have this much, but you're going to need some money. And why are you going to need money? Well, during severe weather, if the electricity for a lot of the city goes out, means there is no electricity, you may not be able to go to the bank, you may not be able to go to an ATM, or you may not be able to use your credit or debit card. So when you need to go to the store, if they're open, you're only going to be able to use cash, probably. You're also going to need a basic toolbox. In another video, I showed you Lucy and my toolbox, right? In the toolbox, you might need some simple tools, such as a wrench, or a screwdriver, or a pair of pliers. And you might need these things to turn off the gas or turn off the water, or to do other things, to do stuff around the house during the weather, the severe weather. If you have a cat or a dog or pets, you're also going to want a 3-day supply of pet food, right? Enough for your pet. And you'll have to figure out how much does my pet eat each day to figure out this. If you have a baby, you're also going to want some baby formula. Formula is sort of the artificial food made for babies. And again, just like the pet, you'll know how much your baby eats, so that'll tell you how much you need for 3 days. And if you have older kids, if the severe weather has sort of changed your day, turned the power off, all of that for a long amount of time, you might need something for the children to do. So you might need some kids' games, or board games is what we would call some of these. Okay. So all of your stuff, your emergency kit, you've prepared for severe weather, you're going to want to put it in some special spot where everybody knows in your house. That way, when severe weather happens, you can grab it and you can go to the basement, you can grab it and leave your house, whatever you need to do, depending on the advice of the experts and depending on the weather. Here are a couple links for you. This one has more about preparing for severe weather, and this one has some severe weather vocabulary. I hope this was helpful. Keep watching the weather and make sure you are prepared for severe weather. Thank you and have a great day.